city council meeting. As always, we'll start our council meeting off with prayer. At this moment, I ask that Councilman Neal will open us up with prayer.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Continue to lead us and guide us. Bless this city. Bless this meeting. In Jesus' name, I pray.
Amen. Council, you have the meeting minute, or council, you have the agenda in front of you. I apologize. I ask that you would approve this agenda. Entertain a motion and a second.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been seconded. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you so much. Next is approval by minutes for January 6, 2024 regular session. You have those meetings in front of you. I'll give you time to read over. Once you read over those minutes, I ask that you raise your right hand, signify that you're ready to vote. And at that time, I entertain a motion and a second to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes. Second.
It's been seconded. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you, council. Next is our public hearing for our option out of the House Bill 581. Mr. Hayes or Mr. Watkins, would you like to elaborate on House Bill 581? This is our second hearing.
Yes, ma'am, Council, this is our, second hearing on the opt-out provision of House Bill 581. The mayor and council has not made a decision. This is just a precaution, to, do the public hearings in case, the council does, decide to opt out. No decision has been made, and, we're here to hear the public comment for the, from the public at large, Mr. Mayor, since this floor is open up for the public comment.
So at this time, if there's anyone that want to speak on House Bill 581, the floor is now open. How you doing, Mr. Lewis?
Doing great, doing great. As a property owner, I am concerned about House Bill 581, and I did my research and talked to some legislators. And I need to ask a question. I know the county, Greene County, homestead exemptions are frozen. Okay, the city didn't have any such animal. And opting out of 581, I'm trying to think of the advantages that the city would have, because see what happens if you opt into 581. From what I've read, homestead will only rise with inflation, using the consumer price index. Now, with that being said, opting in will allow us to establish another what's called a floss tax, like a local option sales tax. Now, I was around a long time ago when T-Splosh first came up, and we voted against it. And I went down to Wilkes County with Mickey Chanel. I presented them with a $300,000 check because we didn't understand what we were doing, unfortunately. But unfortunately, it came back around again, and this time we have it. Now, what the floss will do under the homestead, under House Bill 581, it will allow us to use that tax specifically to roll back the millage, the property tax. You can't use it for a basketball goal. You can't use it for a car park or anything of that nature. You have to use it exactly for that. And I don't see, because here's my thing. I don't want to get a council and mayor who comes in all of a sudden they want this big pet project and the millage rate goes up 10 mils. And they can do that. But with this exemption, can't do that. You know. I mean, so there's just some things I need, before we just start opting out, we don't want this, I suggest you do, I mean, not you, I mean, I would like for everyone to do their homework to make sure that this is what you really want to opt out of. You know, out of 39 counties in the state, we're one with the freeze on our homestead exemption. So I don't see at this juncture, because if you already have a homestead exemption, if you opt in, you're not going to lose it. Okay. As a matter of fact, you're going to stay where you are because more advantageous to you to keep your old homestead exemption, you'll be fine. But that doesn't matter to the city, because you don't have frozen homestead exemption, you know. So it may, you know, you may be turning down a pool of money, because as a property owner, I own several properties, and I love to see these folks come in from the interstate and passing through to help pay, their way and ours as well. But if you don't do this, and you keep raising the millage rate, you're gonna force people out of, I'm gonna leave them, out of the community. I owned property at one point in Hancock County. I would own a rabbit box down there, not because people aren't bad, but the property taxes are through the roof. Fulton County, through the roof, you know. So we ought to have a moratorium of some sort on property taxes and things of that nature. And this may be a tool or a vehicle that we can use to do that. So I wouldn't just blindly say, nah, we're gonna opt out without doing homework first. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Anyone else? Any cares or concerns in regards to House Bill
Mayor.
580? Yes, sir.
And I don't know if the council well, that, and the city attorney can back me up. The floss tax is the second part of House Bill 581. It is not automatic. It is, you will have to go through it and get an agreement with the county again. It's a special tax, and the county will have to agree to, you all three have to agree to have this floss tax. So even if the city was to opt in, there's no guarantee that you will get the floss tax. That's what the way the law is written. Am I correct?
That's right, and one additional step, Mayor and Council, is it also go to a referendum.
And then you have to go to the referendum and get it passed by the voters. So this won't be the citywide voters, it'll be the voters of Greene County. So you have to take that into consideration too when you're looking at the whole scenario. So the floss tax, it has provisions to it also.
Yeah, I agree with you. It will have to be just like ELOS, just like SPOS, just like any other tax, yeah. But, Counselor, you said that, they could, just one entity can't do it, okay?
No.
So each entity would get their pro rata share. Greensboro would get their pro rata share, Union Point would get its pro rata share, and Greene County. The county just couldn't go and strong on everybody and say, look, you get nothing. No,
No, you would have to negotiate like
Of course.
any other tax.
yeah.
And some of the negotiations I've seen ain't been too favorable to the city. But anyway,
Can't get to that one.
you know, so that's where we at. So, you know, we have to worry about, and not speaking against no floss or nothing like that. I like I say, I live in Rockdale County, and I hear what the business owners tell me about the burden that goes from homestead exemption. Properties are good, but apartment complexes, businesses, that's what sometimes the burden is made up. Now that's just from what is told to me. Now, but because before you make that decision, I think we need to see the whole thing. I mean, the floss tax, you know, we opt in is not guaranteed. The county will have to agree to it, and then the voters will have to approve it. And then the most important part is the negotiation of the distribution of those funds. So that is where that is some of the information for the floss tax.
So opting in is not an immediate, it's still a lengthy process that we will have to go through.
Well, you have to go through it. Like I said, the county will have to agree to the floss tax. I mean, am I speaking legally? Am I correct?
That's right, so what we're doing here with the public hearing, is for the homestead exemption portion of the, House Bill 581. Once this is all done, if the city were to stay in, and have the homestead exemption, the next prong, the next step will be to look at the floss.
Anything else coming from council or the public at this time?
Well, I'm not going to walk that again. One final thing, what that exemption will do,
you so much. At this time, we'll close the public hearing, we'll go into our new business.
I think I want to respond to that, man. What it does is, you have a base year of your value of your property. Let's say your property is $100,000. And the value, the base year is $100,000. And the CIP or whatever, it'll be set by the revenue commission. Let's say it's set at 2%, you are able to, the value is able to go up to 102%. So those are the values that you have to think about. That's only homesteaded properties. And that allows, that's only your value. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, city attorney.
That's right, and that's all based on what your tax assessor would value the house, the homestead property at. So it's not something that the tax assessor would come in one year and say, the city wants more money, we're gonna value these houses higher. They're gonna set the value at what they believe through their training is the fair market value. Now the city, and that's what would be limited based on the homestead exemption.
But you can tax them on.
That's right. After that, if the city would want to increase revenue, you still have all the same powers you normally would have to
You have
affect the
to
millage rate.
raise the millage rate.
Thank you much. Now, our public hearing is closed. Going straight to our new business, qualifying fees for general election 2025.
Yes, ma'am, council, what you have before you is, part of the Georgia election code. Every year, every municipal election, the qualifying fees, for the municipal election in 2025, for mayor, $432, council member, $288. The qualifying will be the following dates, August the 16th, 2025 through August the 18th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. That is August the 16th through August the 18th. And we will run these ads into the legal organ and everything. We're asking for your approval of this notice of general election and qualifying fees.
Council, we've heard the request coming from city manager. Is there any question for him at this time? No questions? I'm taking a motion and a second to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Second to approve.
Yes, sir.
It's been second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Thank you so much. Unanimous decision. PTSD resolution, city manager.
Yes, ma'am. This is resolution 2501. We just asked resolution to add membership in the Georgia Germa Fund for PTSD. This is a mandated insurance that's required for volunteers and public safety personnel from the Georgia General Assembly. So we are asking that you approve this resolution.
Any question from city manager coming from the council?
And the premium is around, I don't know why they put it in the thing, $4,000 a month. So that is additional cost for the city, for the whole program, based on our census. Not a month, excuse me, Mayor, Council, year, annual.
Any question coming from council? Everybody understand? At this time, I entertain a motion to approve. Motion and a second.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you all so much. Proposed amendment, prorate occupational tax and fees ordinance 25-01. City manager, will it be coming from you?
Yes. Madam Council, what you have before you is ordinance 2025-01, amend the chapter 26 taxation, license permit and fees. What this does is puts the occupational tax and license application in quarters. Instead of someone coming in October or November of the year, instead of them having paid 100% of it, it was based upon the quarter. And this is not for, this is just for new businesses. So if they come in and open up at that time near the end of the year, we are not gonna require them to pay the full amount. It's just, it allows us to have the authority to, put it, based upon the quarters and everything that they came in. As you see, January through March is 100, April through June is 75, July through September is 50, October through December is 25%.
This is our first reading of this.
Yes, this will be the first reading, ma'am.
Council asked that you, take all this information in, go home, read it, and then be ready to vote on it next week. Next is various request for reduction in minimum lot size and lot width at Pine Crest Drive. Ms. Yvonne, how are you today?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This lot is located on Pinecrest Drive. It's currently zoned R2, but it doesn't quite meet the requirements of the R2 lot size in the ordinances. So the minimum lot size required for R2 is 15,000 square feet with a minimum lot width of 100 feet. This lot is like 13,900 plus or minus square feet, and the lot width is 86 feet. So this is an existing lot of record, so it's they're not subdividing it to get a substandard lot, but it is substandard according to the current ordinances. So they just want to build a single family home on this lot, and staff and the planning board recommended approval.
Council, you've heard the request coming from Ms. Yvonne. Entertain any questions for Ms. Yvonne?
Yeah, I have a question. Ms.
Okay.
Yvonne, give me that lot size you said.
For R2,
Yeah,
Fif-
the one we had at 15,
Mhm.
and the one that you were asking us now to approve is 13.
it is 13,932 square feet.
That's in Twin Pine, right? That's in Twin Pine.
It's on Pinecrest Drive.
Pine Crest Road.
Pine Crest.
Yeah, and there's about 5 other lots that are similar in size on Pinecrest Drive that already have houses on them.
I think what happened, Mayor, when the subdivision was platted, they didn't have those, minimum requirements. But later on, the city adopted minimum requirements, but those subdivision was already platted.
I don't have no,
So, I'm sorry,
oh, no, go ahead, man.
Pine Crest is not a subdivision, right? They don't have, it's not a subdivision.
Well, excuse me, I mean, the lots, when the lots were platted. When the lots were platted, that was before the city had the minimum requirements. So it's kind of like a grandfathered in.
Any more questions coming from Ms. Yvonne?
It's not a question that I have, it's just a statement. The only problem that I have, I really don't have no problem because I want to see the growth. But in that area, it's just such, that is one of the nicest neighborhoods we have in the city. That is one of the nicest neighborhoods we have in the city.
Any questions?
No.
Any more questions?
I have a question, because I think this neighborhood, came up a couple months ago. And we had some of the similar, same issues they were trying to do. And I think the meeting was packed out, the neighbors and stuff wasn't accepting of that property and the lot that they were trying to do. And it's something, to me, I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but it looked like the same thing we're trying to do with this property. It's just different private owners. Am I correct, or am I?
It's actually different, it's different neighborhoods. One was Twin Pine and one is Pine Crest Drive. This is Pine Crest Drive, it's actually located, this is the street between Police Department and Ingram that you take to.
Okay, yeah, right. So the neighbors don't sign off, they don't have any issues, or?
Only one neighbor attended the public hearing and she did not have any issues with it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
At this time, I entertain a motion and a second to approve or either deny.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Thank you so much. Next, our first reading zone ordinance proposed tax amendment at Antique Store.
Yes, Mayor Council, this is, first reading of the zoning ordinance amendment to, by the city attorney's office for the Antique Store at 203 North Main Street. It's in the first reading.
Council, I would ask that you would take, this information home and read over it as well and be ready to vote over this on next meeting. Next, we have Ms. Sonia Hope with Green County Family Connections fiscal year report.
Good evening.
Good evening.
As stated, my name is Sonia Hope. I'm with Georgia Family Connection Partnership. I serve as the regional manager serving Region 5, which is Northeast Georgia. Tonight, I'm representing Green County Family Connection in the absence of our executive director, Ms. Target Foles, and our board chair, Ms. Tira Green over at the Department of Public Health. They couldn't be here for other meetings once, had to reschedule the meeting. What we're doing is today, first of all, thanking you for your years of service as our fiscal agent. You've been our fiscal agent for the last 2 years, and we really appreciate that. That has meant that families and individuals in this community that have needed additional support and services have been able to have access, increased access and resources at their disposal. And again, we partner with you guys on that amazing utility program. We were happy to be a part of that. What we're asking this year is that we be allowed to ask you to serve as a fiscal agent again this year, managing our budget of $56,250, which will take care of the day-to-day operations of running Family Connection, the collaborative position that Ms. Foles currently holds. We have spent the past year operating 2 major programs, one being a strategy team focused on housing and the other on sexual violence prevention, in addition to providing resources and wraparound services as needed, partnering with all school systems, partnering with law enforcement. The Greensboro Police Department and Major Calloway have been a major asset to our work. And then making sure that residents have access, increased access to all the things that they need to be stable and self-sufficient, or as self-sufficient as possible. We wish to continue that work in Greene County, but as a requirement of the DHS contract we have to have a fiscal agent that manages those dollars for us. And you have done so in such a well manner in the past that we'd like to ask you to consider serving for us again in the fiscal year FY26, which begins July 1st and ends June 30th of 2026.
Council, you've heard the request coming from Ms. Sonia Hope in regards to City of Greensboro remaining the fiscal agent for Family Connection. At this time, I don't see a problem with us remaining in that position, so I entertain a motion to accept being the fiscal agent for Family Connection for 2025.
Motion. Second.
It's been second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Unanimous decision. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alcohol license for Yesterday Cafe. How you doing, Mr. Brad?
How are y'all?
Best day of my life.
It's a good day. So I just said I'm applying for an alcohol license for Yesterday Cafe.
All right. Well,
Any questions for me?
we know you. And we're so glad to have Yesterday Cafe back open.
I'm glad to be back.
I'm so glad to have you back up. We've already eaten there twice since last week. I think Mr. Hayes has become one of Mr. Hayes' best restaurant, favorite restaurants.
So first week's been overwhelming, I'll tell you that.
Council, you heard the request coming from Mr. Bragg. At this time, I don't see a problem with us giving him alcohol license for Yesterday Cafe. At this time, I entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been second. No further discussion. All those in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Next, alcohol license, pouring license, to sell beer and wine and Festival Hall for the mayor's gala. Mr. Hayes.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is a, alcohol license permit, I have to say, beer and wine for the festival, for the, gala that gonna benefit the Boys and Girls Club, on February 22nd, 2025.
At this time, any questions? Any questions? No questions? At this time, I entertain a motion to approve the pouring license for Festival Hall on February 22, 2025.
Motion. Second.
It's been seconded. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Unanimous decision. Thank you so much. Ms. Jennifer Amaya, is she here? How you doing, young lady?
Great, how are you?
Best day of my life.
Alcohol license, but beer and wine for our cafe when we rent our cafe out
Okay.
on a handful of times, because we do everything off premise for the most part.
All right. Council, I don't see a problem with offering alcohol license for the chef and the wife. At this time, I entertain a motion to approve the alcohol license.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Thank you so much. Unanimous decision.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Nicole. Ms. Nicole, we'll allow you to do both of yours together.
Okay.
We'll just make one vote. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right.
So, I would like to ask for permission to sell beer and wine at Festival Hall on Thursday, February 20th for our Bingo for the Arts, and also March 20th through the 23rd for our Lake Country Players production. And all proceeds benefit Festival Hall.
All right. Council, you heard the request coming from Ms. Nicole, requesting beer and wine, an alcohol license on March 20th, 2025 and February 2025. I don't see a problem with giving her these licenses. I entertain a motion to approve. All those in favor? Thank you.
Second.
It's been second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Unanimous decision. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I see City Hall.
Yes, Mayor and Council, we've already discussed the city audit, so we will bring that back up next, council meeting, so, we can move further from that, or whatever, and go forward.
Do we have any public comment cards?
I would like, have an executive session to talk about real estate.
Do we have any public comment cards? No public comment cards. Ms. Rose, if you would stick around, I want to make sure you get in touch with our city manager so he can answer all those questions that you had. Okay? All right. The city manager is requesting a executive session for one real estate matter. At this time, I entertain a motion to go into executive session for one real estate matter.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I have one question before we go into executive session.
Let's go.
Where are we with, cost of living or the raises, for the city employees? I had a lot of phone calls. They was under the impression that it would be on their checks, by January.
They should not have.
Well, they should have been calling.
Shouldn't have been under the impression of that. They should have been in contact, their department head should have gave them strict instructions, and their department head should have been giving them, what is it?
It should have
Reviews,
been,
I'm sorry.
reviews,
They should have been reviews.
they should
And
never
so
been calling the councilman.
So
that's
can
personnel
you
decision.
make sure the department head, talk to whoever they need to talk to, because it's there's a lot of, evidently somebody having a conversation.
Yes, sir. Entertain a motion and a second to go into executive session.
Motion, go into executive session.
Second.
It's been seconded. Further discussion? None. All those in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Thank you so much. If you all give us just a moment.